Farmers in southern France just lost half their entire harvest. In one season. These aren't regular farmers. These are the people who grow the flowers that go inside your Chanel, your Dior, your Tom Ford, one town, one microclimate, one place in the entire world where these flowers smell exactly right. And climate change is slowly destroying it. This is the story nobody in the perfume industry wants you to know. So what exactly is Grasse? Grasse is a small hilltop town in southern France. About 20 kilometers from Cannes, sitting between the Alps and the Mediterranean. And here's what genuinely surprised me when I first researched this: Grasse was not always known for perfume. It was known for leather tanning, one of the most foul-smelling industries in history. But in the 16th century, tanners started doing something clever, adding flowers to their leather gloves to mask the smell. Jasmine, rose, lavender, and slowly, the flowers took over completely. Tanneries became perfume factories. Leather workers became perfumers. And Grasse transformed from the smelliest town in Europe into the most fragrant. Honestly, when I read that origin story, I had to pause. A town famous for stench, becoming famous for the world's most beautiful smells. That kind of transformation doesn't happen by accident. That's generations of people deciding to do something different. In 2018, Grasse received UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage status. Same list as the Great Wall of China. That's the level of significance we're talking about now. Here's the thing that blows most people's minds about Grasse. You can grow jasmine anywhere. Egypt, Morocco, India, 100 different countries. But perfumers will tell you jasmine grown anywhere else smells different. Because of soil, because of climate, because of altitude. Same flower, different soil. Completely different smell. Grasse has a microclimate that exists nowhere else on Earth. Perfect Mediterranean warmth. Cool alpine nights. Rich soil. Just the right rainfall. It takes between 7,000 and 10,000 jasmine flowers to make just 1 kilogram. And about a ton of flowers to extract 1 kilo of jasmine absolute. Each kilo worth over 50,000 euros. That's more expensive than gold. And Chanel No. 5 has used Grasse jasmine since Coco Chanel first launched it in 1921. Over 100 years. Same fields. Same families. Same smell. When I sit with that fact, I genuinely get emotional. Families picking the same flowers in the same fields for 100 years. Just so your perfume smells exactly right. That's not a supply chain. That's a legacy. Now here's where the story gets serious. And this is the part that personally worries me the most. Grasse faced extreme drought that wiped out swaths of flower crops. One farmer who grows exclusively for Dior saw her tuberose harvest drop 40% in a single year. Farmers across the wider region saw yields down by as much as half. Gone. One season. Flower growers are now lighting candles between the vines like wine growers because of cold weather coming so late in spring. Something that used to happen every 50 to 100 years is now happening 2 years in a row. Think about that from a business perspective. You're a family that has been growing jasmine for generations. Your grandmother picked these flowers. Her grandmother picked these flowers. The fields have been in your family for 200 years. And now the weather that made those fields perfect is changing. Season by season, year by year, risk analysts have classified Grasse as extremely high risk from climate change. Extremely high risk. The perfume capital of the world. Extremely high risk. I'm not gonna lie, when I read that classification, it hit different. This isn't some distant future problem. This is happening right now. This season. In these fields now, here's the business move that I find genuinely fascinating. The luxury brands saw this coming. And they responded in a very specific way. They started buying the fields themselves. Lancôme inaugurated their own estate in Grasse. Dior locked in years-long exclusive contracts with Grasse growers. Chanel quietly secured its own dedicated flower farms. Think about what that means. These brands aren't waiting for the problem to get worse. They're buying the supply chain, locking in access, making sure that even if other perfume houses can't get Grasse flowers, they can. It's the most expensive insurance policy in the world. Buying flower fields in southern France to guarantee your perfume smells the same in 2050 as it does today. And meanwhile, smaller perfume houses, independent brands, they're being slowly priced out, losing access to the ingredients that made their fragrances special. The rich brands get richer. The small ones struggle. Sound familiar? Now here's my honest take. And this is where I personally land after going deep into this story. The perfume industry has always adapted. When natural ingredients became scarce, chemists invented synthetic alternatives. When rare woods became endangered, farms started cultivating them artificially. Grasse will adapt too. It has to, but here's what genuinely cannot be replicated: the story, the heritage. The fact that this specific jasmine has been growing on these specific hills for 400 years. That Coco Chanel used it. That generations of families dedicated their entire lives to picking flowers before dawn so your perfume smells exactly right. You can synthesize the smell. You cannot synthesize the history. And in the luxury perfume world, history is half the product. The moment Chanel has to say their jasmine no longer comes from Grasse, something irreplaceable is lost. Not just a smell, a story, a connection to something ancient and real. And honestly, that matters more than most people realize. This isn't just a Grasse problem either. Wild agarwood trees are disappearing across South Asia. Ancient perfume traditions in India are shrinking. The world's natural fragrance heritage is under threat everywhere, and nobody is seriously talking about it. So that's Grasse, a town that started with leather and stench, built the world's greatest perfume industry, supplied flowers for Chanel, Dior, and every luxury house you've ever heard of, and now faces its most serious challenge in 400 years: climate change. Droughts, floods, luxury brands buying up the fields, small farmers being squeezed out. The $85 billion perfume industry is built on flower fields in one small town in southern France. And those fields are struggling. Now drop it in the comments. Do you think synthetic ingredients can ever truly replace natural ones? Or does something get lost when the real thing disappears? Genuinely want to know where you stand. Subscribe, because next episode we're going inside the psychology of perfume ads. Why they never show the perfume, and how they've been manipulating your emotions for decades without you even noticing. I'll see you there.